Brad Williams, XL Prime. We're going to do a whole bunch of tests here. We're going to check to see if, over here in our test, if it's finished. What is it? I don't know. It's a project. Is it at the drawing board stage? Is it finished or is it at the drawing board stage? Is it finished or drawing board for either these two? Now, it's critical here. Notice the wording, or. Makes a huge difference in terms of our outcome. Count if project is finished. All right, I just pretty much announced this. It's pretty simple. We have a sum. COUNTIFS, D5, D11, finished. Again, you're going to ask, why do I use sum and COUNTIFS? COUNTIFS is just counting. Notice we're going down D5 to D11. That in order to get a sum, if we want to count, we have to throw that sum in there. Remember, COUNTIFS is multiple criteria. It's going to present the numbers, F9. All it's doing is counting this stuff. 1, 2, whatever. And then finished. We go number, F9. We have 2. That's what sum presents. How do we get there? We have to look here again. F9, F9. That's as far as we get. We're trying to find finished and COUNTIFS. You may be asking, why are you putting a sum in front of this? If you have a single argument, you don't need to put a sum. It's not a bad habit to put the sum in front of there, if that's your intent with multiple criteria. We add sum in here. You're going to get this exact same results if you put sum in there. What happens if you have multiple criteria? We get into this spill problem. We have multiple criteria. Without the sum, we can't add them up. Here's an example. Down here in this extended calculation, you're going to see the answer 0, F9. Here is 1. Let's see if I can get this to 2. Here's 2. This is what it looks like without the sum. You remove the sum and it spills. Then you're kind of lost. Why? Well, because look at what you're attempting to do. You're trying to multiple criteria. Criteria 1 and then criteria 2. You have this count here and you have 0 and 1. And then you have 0 and you're looking for finished or drawing. 0, 1. Drawing board. We get 1. Finished based on Kelly. So we get 0, 1. And then for Lindsay, we get 1 and 0. Without the sum, you can't do much with it. That's why we throw the sum in there. If you don't want to put the sum in front of here, you get the same result here. And in terms of what we're actually doing, we're using COUNTIF, so we have multiple criteria. We can use a single criteria. Here we have multiple criteria. Here we have OR. Keep in mind, OR. This is saying COUNTIF D4 is either finished or drawing. And if so, count it. So count however many you want to count. I'm putting the sum back in here. We have finished. How many finished? 1 finished or drawing board. And 4 drawing boards. Our sum is 5. And then finished or drawing, we're going to go finished or drawing or Kelly or Lindsay. How many times are we going to see Kelly in here? We have 1. The best we're going to get is a 1 out of this thing. Then the question is, are there any finished or drawing? There's only Lindsay Tensler drawing. It has to be at least 1 true in here. Kelly pending, no. Lindsay Tensler, true. Over here, the question is, why can't we use COUNTIF? COUNTIF, singular, accomplish the same thing. You can to a certain level. Notice COUNTIF, and we have the sum. We can get rid of the sum. Well, we have a single criteria. Now here we have the same hypothetical. What happens here? We can still kind of squeeze this in. We're doing this OR, and we can do this plus. We could do a plus thing here. We are able to squeeze this in. We have criteria. We have this other, notice we have this other COUNTIF. The sum function comes in and takes care of it. Now what happens here? Work it out. Why are we getting 4 and 1 here? 4 versus 1. Let me know. The answer is pretty clear. Think about it, work it out. A quick overview of the combinations and the power of the sum, the COUNTIFs, COUNTIF, and the different ways to do this. So you could do an or and an and an if, and well, it's endless. Brad Williams, XL Prime, thanks for watching.